What up, Unbox? My name is John, and we will be unboxing today the very hotly anticipated, or at least surprise phone that Chair Mobile launched today. This is the Chair Mobile Flare X. The Flare X is obviously, they didn't say it was the Alcatel Flash Plus killer, but it's pretty obvious what they're actually shooting for this particular product. I say it is a Alcatel Flash Plus killer because it has better specs on paper compared to the Alcatel Flash Plus. When you actually take a look at the specs, yes, the Alcatel Flash Plus is cheaper, but only by 500 pesos. And what you get for that additional 500 pesos is a whole lot more compared. So unfortunately, we don't have the Flash Plus today with us. It is with our EIC, Carlo Ople, because he's actually doing another second take on the Flash Plus. 30 days with the Flash Plus. So although we do have a couple of other products here that we will be comparing this to, but it will be in a different video. Anyway, this is an unboxing video. So you have the box of the Flare X. It shows you, well, the logo. There's a nice little die cut out. This is a cardboard sleeve. And the specs, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if my camera can focus. So it says Android 4.4 KitKat, 5.5 inch IPS Full HD display, Gorilla Glass 3, and I think this is OGS, I'm not sure. So 1.7 GHz octa-core processor, 3 GB of RAM, that's a big one, 3 GB of RAM, 16 GB of storage, which is expandable, 13 megapixel rear camera, Sony IMX, and there is dual micro SIM LTE. So that's your specs for the Flare X. Let's take a look. So the sleeve actually protects the phone, like the box. So this is the Flare X box. Ta-da! That is the device, as you can see. We'll get to that. Let's take a look at what Chair Mobile actually gives you. So your Flare X comes with a user manual, obviously. Pair of headphones. Let's take this baby out. As you can see, this is the first time I'm actually unboxing this. Hindi ko pa siya nalalabas. That is a pair of headphones. USB cable. I think this is a USB cable. Yes, it is a USB cable. And also the power plug. So that's all you're getting. There's not a lot of freebies. But then again, for that price, I'm not expecting a lot of freebies. So this is the phone of the hour. Let's put the accessory somewhere so it doesn't bother us. Just give me a minute. So this is the Flare X. As you can see, it's really, first time you see it, it's definitely a member of the Flare family of phones. It uses a removable rear cover. It's essentially a plastic shell. It's not polycarbonate, so it's just plastic. Let's see if I can take it out apart for you, which actually reveals the internals. Removable battery, so that may or may not be a plus for a lot of people. 3000 mAh. Dual SIM slots. Not sure if this is dual LTE. We'll confirm. There's a micro SD slot as well, so expandable storage. So you're looking at 16 gig. That's dadagdagan mo pa, diba? So ang dami nun. That's a lot of storage for you. So moving on to the actual front, this actually is a full HD display, 5.5 inch, OGS, I think, and that is your Flare X. So you have, I don't know if you can see that, there is capacitive buttons for navigation on the bottom. Let's see if the camera will focus. There, it doesn't light up, unfortunately, so pag gabi, mahirapan ka hanapin, sure hindi ka mo kabisado. If you haven't noticed, this is actually running an Android 4.4 KitKat, and I'll go into the explanation, or Chair Mobile's explanation for that, for why it's running KitKat in a bit. So as you can see, very nice display. The bezels are there. They're not bad. They're not overly thick. Okay lang. And essentially, but the big thing here is it's 1.7 GHz octa-core processor. So it's a phone that has an octa-core processor. It also has 3 GB of RAM, LTE. So this puts it squarely in competition with the Allure 64 LTE. Angat siya over the Flash Plus. So I'm going to show you the Antutu Benchmark. 39,000, if you can't see that, that's 39,464. So if you compare it to the Flash Plus, the Flash Plus I think is around 41, 42. And the Allure 64 LTE, which this will be compared to because it's 3 gig of RAM, is around 46,000. So as far as Antutu is concerned, it's down, medyo mas mababa siya ng konti. But from what we've seen, if you're comparing it to the Allure 64 LTE, navigation is rather fast. So that's because it's KitKat. And we talked to Cherry Mobile about that. We asked them, why do you have it in KitKat? Well, Lonson Alejandro, he's one of the product managers, or a guy that actually picks the phones that bring over here. He told us that this particular phone, or Android, this particular phone actually came with Android 5.0. But the problem is, there is a lot of bugs and issues with Android 5.0, and we can confirm that because there was a lot of bugs and problems with the Allure 64 LTE. Marami talaga siyang problema. If you read our review, you will see how buggy it is. There's a lot of issues with Android 5.0. So they opted actually to just downgrade it to KitKat and issue an Android 5.1 OTA later on. The problem is MediaTek has a reputation for being stingy when it comes to giving out the kernel codes for their processors. The kernel codes are essentially what allows Google to make OTA updates to their phones. So everything actually lies with MediaTek. As soon as MediaTek can actually send it, the ODM, or the place where Cherry Mobile actually got this, can issue an OTA update to 5.1. Until that happens, this will be stuck to KitKat. And to be honest, a lot of people may disagree, but from what we've seen, a lot of people don't really care if it's in KitKat, because KitKat is #1 more stable. Yes, you are losing on a few other features, but personally I'd pick stability over actual feature set. So we haven't installed any games on here, which is unfortunate. My internet is actually being weird again, so unfortunately, so I can't actually test this. From what I can see of the phone, it's actually pretty nice. If you take a look at the sides, it's curved. Like if you ever had a flare phone before, that's essentially what you'll notice is maganda yung gilid. Maganda yung gilid, madaling hawakan, and it really looks like a flare phone, diba? You're not going to mistake it for anything else. So, is this an Alcatel Flash Plus killer? Barring any issues with software, with the camera performance, I think so. This is actually a very good, offering from Cherry Mobile. Because #1, I can tell you right away, the display is actually way better compared to the Alcatel Flash Plus. That's one of the things that I really hated about the Alcatel Flash Plus is the display just really is not that good. Diba? They say it's OGS. Yeah, sure, it's probably OGS, but hindi siya maganda eh. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And another one is the Liwa OS. Looks like it's made for kids. I don't know if there are people who actually like it. You might like it. I don't. A lot of people that I talk to who actually review the Flash Plus, they don't like the Liwa OS. So there's that. Hindi nila gusto yun, and personally I don't like it. 3 gig of RAM, obviously, more RAM, the better your phone will perform. Full HD display. So over the HD display of the Liwa OS, and overall a better display experience for this particular phone. And you're getting that for just 500 pesos more. Another big issue is the Alcatel Flash Plus is only available through Lazada. Now, depending on where you actually sit on the whole, on the whole online shopping thing, that may be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what your preference is. Another thing is that mabilis maubos yung Alcatel Flash Plus. When it goes on sale, it's immediately sold out. Cherry Mobile actually tells us that they're bringing in a lot of these because they expect it to sell very well. The thing is, that's also a very good thing with Cherry Mobile because you can actually go to a kiosk or a store, take a look at it, feel it and touch it before you actually pay money for it. The Alcatel Flash Plus, since you can only buy it online, you either have to read reviews and just trust your gut that you're going to like it, or you're going to end up selling it if you don't really like how the build quality is, how the display is, everything. So I think that's another strength of this particular phone over the Alcatel Flash Plus. If you compare it to the Allure 64 LTE, this obviously doesn't have a fingerprint scanner. The display, I'd say pata sila. We will actually be doing a comparison video of the Cherry Mobile Flare X compared to the Allure later on. But pagdating sa display quality, overall display quality, Cherry Mobile, pantay lang silang dalawa. Performance, since this is KitKat and not the bug-ridden mess, which is Android 5.0, this is actually much better to use. It's nicer to use. When downloading apps, this doesn't have the same issues with Android 5.0 as compared to the Allure 64 LTE, which actually has issues. Antutu lang will take you about 2 hours depending on what happens. It's overall a more stable device. Again, aesthetics, you can't really compare aesthetics, to be honest. One person's preference is different from another person's preference, so it's all up to what you like. So that's it for this unboxing. Expect a comparison video of the Allure 64 LTE and this, the Cherry Mobile Flare X later on. The Cherry Mobile Flare X will be sold starting in July in Metro Manila for 6,999 pesos. Just imagine, 6,999 pesos, 5.5-inch Full HD, 3 GB of RAM, 64-bit processor, and LTE. That's amazing value if you ask us. So it will begin being sold in Cherry Mobile stores at the beginning of July and will be rolled out in the rest of the Philippines as the month goes. So parang buong Pilipinas ata at the end of July ang sabi. So that's it. Thank you very much, Unbox. Peace out.